tomorrow to meet in the office. And attention FFA members, group order forms are in, and those are due by November 10th. There will be a National Honor Society rehearsal on Monday, November 2nd, during homeroom in the auditorium. Any questions, ask Mrs. Strand. Any students interested in cheerleading for basketball, grades 7 through 12, sign up outside of the office. And attention in the auditorium today with Mrs. Johnson. That's all I have for you. Let's have a pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Patriots, we gonna have a good day, or are we gonna have a great day?
Hey, what?
Let's have a great day, Patriots!
Where is your positivity today?
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, come on, let's try that again. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah, because you guys need encouragement. It's terrible. Plus, we got some Viking fans in here, so that damn is okay, you're probably wondering who I am, because I've been sitting in that back corner for the last 3 days. I'm Mr. Inget from Beardville State, originally from Stanley, North Dakota. Does anybody know where that's at?
Nope.
Does anybody know where Minot, North Dakota is?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm up in that corner. I'm from the boonies. Okay, a little bit about myself. I used to play baseball at Mayville State. I went to the dreaded University of Jamestown for 1 year. Came to my senses, came here. Okay? Special thanks to Mr. Hans, Mr. Kunkel for letting me teach you guys. So, let's get to it. How many have heard of the American legislative lawmaking process? Raise your hand.
Woo!
That's good, that's good. A lot of you. How many know how it's really done? Be honest. Okay, well, you're in luck because today we're going to go by step by step. So, first item on the day, how many have heard of Schoolhouse Rock?
Okay.
Good, I'm not too old for this class. This is good. Okay, so we're going to watch a quick 3-minute video here. It's called Lawn Just a Bill.
Yeah, but that would just be comedy at its finest.
I wonder who that Sandoz maker is.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." And he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. Capitol Hill. Well, then I'm off to the White House where I'm waiting online with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be along. I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole conversation should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time it's over.
By that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill. Besides you, Bill, now you're a law. Oh, yes.
Okay, I hope I ingrained that in your memories forever.
It literally will. Because he's just a bit.
Exactly. See, I already worked on it. What a guy. Okay.
There's a new note sheet on school.
I can just do my own thing, right?
No, it'll actually
Well,
be
it's a little technical, difficult. Okay. We're going to go over our little objectives and purpose for the lesson here today, so you all can read with me. We'll start with all students will. All students will identify, summarize the process of American legislation, discover the path of the bill becoming American law, highlight the responsibilities and roles of the federal branch members during the legislative process, and compare and contrast the effectiveness of the American legislative process. Now, effectively, the purpose is everything that the objectives are, so we already said it. So, taking a look at your guys' note guides that are probably on your Chromebooks, which you guys are so lucky to have, because back in my day, which was only 5 years ago, it was still pencil and paper. So,
those are on Schoology. Mr. Ingett's note guide is on Schoology, so you're gonna have to access that.
We just take
if you want to take
just-
regular
just-
notes, it's fine, but
Okay.
I went through the hard work and struggle to make this. I greatly appreciated it.
Okay, I'll use it.
Thank you, you touched me. Okay, so step one. Every law starts with an idea. Where can the idea come from? Your brain. More importantly, you, the ordinary citizen. You don't have to have a certain title. You don't have to have a certain job. You can literally be the average citizen. So, once you have an idea, you got to contact someone. Who do you contact? Congressman. Okay, well, that's just the broad term. 2 specific people. In our state, we have 2 of them. Senator, representative. Okay? So in total, we have 3 congressmen, 2 offices, well, 3 offices, but 2 distinctions, senator and representative. Who are North Dakota's senators, and who is North Dakota's representative? I do. Okay. What's their distinctions?
Oh, Senator John Holden, Senator Kevin Kramer, and Governor Schultz.
Good. Everybody hear that?
Yes.
No? She said Kelly Armstrong is our representative in the House, Kevin Kramer and John Holden are our senators. Okay? So, you've contacted your officials. You got an idea. Say your idea is, I want Highway 200 to become 4-lane. How many people want Highway 200 to become 4-lane? That means, if you know what that means, right? It's like the interstate. I want it that way. Highway 200 is scary. Now I'm really know. Okay, so you give that idea to your congressman. They write it down. After they write it down, they bring it to our nation's capital. Where is our nation's capital?
Washington, D.C.
Good. Washington, House of Congress? House of Representatives. You give it to Kramer or Hovind, where are they going to bring it to? Good, the Senate. Now, before, the bill just can't be put on the floor and everybody looks at it and then it's just a piece of paper. It has to go through what's called a sponsorship. You have to introduce it officially. This can happen through either the Senate or the House of Representatives, but it has to be sponsored to become official legislation. Once it's been sponsored, it can go straight to the floor to debate, but in most times, it's going to go into what's called the HOPA. That's right, I said it with the Boston accent. But that's only in the House that it goes into the HOPA. After it goes into the HOPA, it gets its number. So on your note sheet it says, write down the legislative number. As you can see by our examples here, bill numbers are typed out like this. HR 422-106 Congress. What does the HR or the S stand for? Which house it originated in. What does the next number stand for?
Days.
Try again.
Books.
Bill number.